What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about why I bought a Dodge Daytona. I really wanted something with the performance. I needed room because I have a 5-year-old daughter. I used to have a 2014 Camaro, but she kind of grew out of the back seat. So I got rid of that. I had a Ford Focus ST. I loved it, but it didn't have a V8. There was no sound. It didn't have the rumble. It was a fun car to drive, but it was hard for me to come from a V8 to a Ford Focus ST. So I started shopping around, and I saw the press release for the Daytona Charger, and I loved it. I seen it in green go. I knew I had to have it. So when I was looking, I really wanted it in a Scat Pack or the Daytona in a 392. That's what I really wanted. But when reality hit and I realized what the payments were going to be for a 392, I had to cut back because I really wanted luxury features as well. So they had this green go Daytona in the showroom with the 5.7. I really didn't look at it until I realized what the payments were going to be for 392. As soon as they started it and I heard the rumble of the 5.7, it sounded just as good as the 392. So before we did any paperwork, I wanted to take it for a ride, and I loved it. It had more than enough power. It sounded great. And going with the 5.7, I was able to afford some options. I have the heated and cooled seats, the heated steering wheel, the Bose audio system. You really get everything with a little compromise on the motor. Yeah, I'm down about 100 horsepower than what a 6.4 would be, but I was willing to live with that to get a little bit more options in the car. The 6.4 I was looking at had the Alpine system in it for stereo, and it sucked. It didn't have navigation. It didn't have heated and cooled seats for the price range that I could afford. So I was willing to drop down motor size to get a fully loaded Charger, and I'm really happy I did. The sound of it, I really like the new adaptive exhaust that they have. When you put it in sport mode and you're nailing it, it sounds great. You put it back in the regular, it quiets down, it rides nice. It's really best of both worlds. Now, it's not the fastest car out there. It's probably going to get beat by a 5.0 Mustang. It's definitely going to get beat by a Camaro. But I was willing to live with that to get the options. Now, I'm definitely looking into the Stage 2 Scat Pack package that they have for this, which comes with a new cam, push rods, lifter springs, and a couple other things. I really don't want to go with the Stage 1 because the Stage 1, all it really has is the exhaust and a bogus performance oil filter. So for me, I really like how the exhaust sounds. I don't want to change it at all. So I figured I would just skip over that. Now with that package, if I did my research correctly, it's all covered under your regular manufacturer warranty, because it is Mopar parts. I do have to look into that a little more just to make sure, because I don't want to lose my warranty. I'd rather wait a little longer, a year or so, before I want to do that. It's just nice to know you can beat the shit out of your car, and if it breaks, you just take it to the dealership. kind of sucks when you don't have a warranty and you got to spend $2,000 for something that broke. Other than that, I really do enjoy the car. I've been having some wacky issues with the Uconnect screen. If I let my battery go dead, now I didn't do it on purpose, but I left the lights on, the battery went dead. I jumped the car, and instead of the big Dodge emblem coming up on my Uconnect screen, it came up with the big Chrysler wings, and it kind of scared the crap out of me. Meaning, you know, what the hell's going on? I have to take it to the dealer. But after starting my car like a couple times, it finally like reset itself back to Dodge. So, which I haven't had it happen again, but that kind of freaked me out. And then they call it passive entry when you get in and out of the car. When you turn it off, the steering wheel goes up, the seat comes back. That broke twice, but I figured out a way to fix it myself if it ever goes out again. Basically, it's just a sensor that tells the car where the seat is that goes out, and I know how to recalibrate it, which is nice. The Bose audio system is good. I wouldn't say it's great, but I do prefer it over the Alpine system or even stock. It does have, I think, an 8-inch sub in the trunk and another sub on the back deck, as well as the deck speakers, which it sounds good. It could use a little bit more bass, but for me, I think it's great. I don't have to put a sub in it. I'm not going to change anything, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a car that had everything option-wise interior already done. I didn't want to have to mess with the stereo, change speakers out. But I was a little disappointed when I first heard the Beats audio. I thought it was just going to be a little bit more with the bass. Other than that, the driving impressions, it corners well. It is a 4,000-pound car, but I definitely think it handles better than my dad has a Challenger Scat Pack Shaker Edition, and he loves it, but when I drive it, it just feels like a heavy pig through the back roads, where this doesn't feel as heavy. I can kind of finesse it a little bit more around corners. It doesn't feel like it's just over heavy. But I do know when I take it on the interstate and I'm doing, you know, let's just say over 65 miles an hour, and I come over a bridge, you get that heavy car float. It's not as planted as the like a Hellcat would be, or the Camaros. It's just, this is a nice cross between luxury and performance, and that's what I really wanted. When I had my Camaro, I really was going for the performance. I got a base model interior just so I could have the big V8. I did straight pipes all the way back, and it sounded awesome. But if I took it any more for like more than an hour drive, I wanted to blow my brains out on the drone. So with this, with that active exhaust, I mean, when you're on the interstate, or even right now, it's dead quiet. But if I really wanted to open it up, I could put it in sport mode, downshift, and it really livens up. The transmission is great for what it is. Every once in a while, you'll go to step on it and it has a brain fart, and sometimes it doesn't go down enough gears. But if you're using it with the paddle shifters, or you're going to use, you know, manual shifting it, it's great. It's quick, it's snappy, and the sound it makes between shifts is addicting. It kind of has this burble to it, and it sounds awesome. It does have, we'll just say 400 horse, 375, I think. So we'll just call it 400. It is what it is. Probably wasn't the best road to go on. Sorry about mount it. This is my first video, but I hope to do a lot more with this car. Navigation, I do like that, having the Apple CarPlay. That is really nice to have. Sometimes I use that more than the regular GPS on your Uconnect screen. But if you're an older person, you don't really want to learn a new, say, navigation screen, this Uconnect system that Chrysler has is probably the most user-friendly system I've ever had. It is so easy. The screen's clear. With my Daytona edition, I do have the Super Track Pack, which gives me all the performance gauges. The biggest gripe I have with this car, it does not have a posi rear. So if I try to do a donut or something, I got a one-wheel wonder going on. And for Chrysler to build this car performance oriented and not to put a posi rear in there blows my mind, because the car handles well, it's got the performance, but if you're driving it hard around corners and stuff, you're losing all that power to the ground because the one wheel's lighting up. I mean, so I am trying to see if I can get, they do have there's different gear ratios they put in these, so I'm hoping if I get one through Dodge, it's still covered under my warranty. What I think happens is it's not covered under your 36,000 or whatever 50,000 mile warranty that I have on it. It's just covered under like a 5 or 10,000 mile warranty. Whatever, the part itself has a warranty, not under my whole vehicle, which kind of sucks. So I'm gonna wait and see after I put stage 2 in if it still needs it. I mean, I really wish I could do a donut, and slide it around corners, but I really don't want to spend $2,000 on that right now. When I'd rather do the cam, lifters, springs, push rods. I'd rather do all that stuff first before I go that route. I really don't want to pro charge it. I don't want to do any of that. Again, I don't want to lose my warranty. But depending on how the response is with this video, if you guys want, I'll make a walk around video. I'll show you the outside, I'll show you the interior. More of an in-depth tour. I mean, there is a lot of guys out there who have great tours of the Chargers. I know there's not much out there with the Daytona editions, which was hard for me to research and see if it was worth for me to go that route. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I'd be more than happy to do an in-depth tour on that. Hopefully my editing isn't too terrible. Let's see. If you're looking for something with gas mileage, this is not the car for you. I am currently getting, let's see, go through my menu here. Audio, trip, fuel economy, 12.1. Now, it could probably do way better, but if you're like me, you're not gonna buy this car for gas mileage. You're buying it more for miles per gallon, and I really enjoy the rumble of this V8, so the pedal is usually more than halfway open. yeah, if you guys want me to put more videos up of it, hopefully I can get, I'll be getting some aftermarket parts for it here soon. I just ordered a front splitter for it, and then a window spoiler for the back window. Nothing aggressive. It only comes up to about a size of a quarter, the lip on it, so nothing crazy, but just enough. But hey, thanks for watching the video. You know, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks.